Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wa hlul uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Rabbana zidna ilma. Allahumma faqihna fid din. Allahumma inni as'aluka ilman nafi'a wa rizqan tayyiba wa amalan mutaqabbala. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. So here we are with our session number 180 for Quranic Arabic grammar, and we are reviewing Surah Taha, Nahw, and Sarf. So let's start. Alhamdulillah, we have been learning about Imma at-Tafsiliya. Is it an ism or a harf? Real quick. A quick recap from the previous session. I would like you to answer, is Imma a harf or an ism? Okay, when you see Imma, it is a harf. Very well done. When you see Imma, you see it by itself or it is followed by another Imma. Or in other words, its repetition or its takrar is what wajib. Barakallahu feek. It is followed by another one. Very well done. So everyone remembers when there are two immas together, we have to think about imma at-tafsiliya. Is there any way there is something that spells the same as imma at-tafsiliya that can get us, confused? That can make us confused, and it may not be imma. Barakallahu feek. Yes, it is imma ash-shartiya. Imma ash-shartiya spells the same as imma at-tafsiliya. What do we usually see after and most commonly see after imma, that is ash-shartiya? When imma is shartiya, there is going to be what seen after imma that will help us distinguish between imma shartiya from imma at-tafsiliya. What is going to be there? There is going to be, some are saying that there is going to be jawabu shart. Yes. But what should we look for? After imma, you will see there is going to be mudare. There is going to be mudare. There is going to be a mudare. Very well done, Diba. There is going to be mudare with nunus sakila, with nunu tokid. You can just say nunu tokid. You go over imma in Quran, go over the examples of imma, and you have been very you have been taught in detail how to use this app tanzeel.com, right? So in tanzeel.com, if you can just put word imma, you're going to see all different types of imma that are going to come up, and you just make your observation. Spend some time when you are seeing in Surah Al-An'am, Surah Al-Anfal, Surah Al-Iraq, there is imma, which is shartiya, after which you are finding a jawabu shart starting with fa'u rabita. You are seeing a mudare that has attached with it nunut tawkid. Yes or no? Yunsiyannak, tasfannahum, yanza'ghannak. Right? Everywhere you are seeing nunu tawkid. If you keep that in mind, that is going to make things fly for you. Like, fly in the sense it will give you a lot of ease in recognizing imma at-tafsiliya from imma ash-shartiya. Is this point clear to all of you, that there may be a confusion because they are spelled the same? But what are we going to see after imma ash-shartiya? We are going to see a mudare that will have nunu tokid. Okay, imma ash-shartiya, is it going to be, when I ask about imma, is it a word that is mausul? Yes or no? Mausul means there were two words, but are they written together in Quran? Do you think? Yes, it is in plus ma. You can see on my slide. I hope I have, it is in shartiya followed by ma zaida, right? Ma zaida is very commonly seen after your advatu shart. Yes or no? A recap from our previous sessions, it was almost our term 4 or something, right? We see ma zaida, the most common place of ma zaida was after advatu shart. We see it after haruf nasiba as well. We see it after haruf jar as well, but mostly, very commonly, you do see it after advatu shart as well, right? Does this freshen up your memory about ma zaida? Type 1. if you remember something about that, right? So ma zaida, mostly seen after adwatu shart, after inna, anna, anna, those haruf, and that, zaida is also kafa, and sometimes you are going to see it after huruf jar. And in this series, in your this series, you have gone over it. Innama tas'a. There was a verse from Surah Taha where we reviewed our mazaida. Okay, so I want to make sure that each and every one of you knows the places where we are going to see ma'azaida as well. Okay, while we are reviewing our imma at-tafsiliya and imma ash-shartiya. Okay, so imma, the first imma is going to be labeled as at-tafsiliya, right? When we are learning about imma at-tafsiliya, the first is going to be called imma tafsiliya. The second imma, some call it harf tafsil, some call it harf atf, true or false, and that is on your screen, so there should not be any confusion about it. Remember, we have covered this in our last session. For those of you who are there, and who, or for those of you who have who have made an effort to listen to the recording, must know that there is an imma that is followed by another imma. Some will call that second imma as atf, and it's matuf alayhi. The word that is after it is going to be matuf, and matuf alayhi is before it, following the first imma. Some call imma just, both imma. Some scholars label, some scholars of Nahw label both imma as imma tafsiliya, and they call waw as atifa. Okay, others that call imma as harf atf, they call the waw that is seen before second imma as waw zaida. Clear to each and every one of you? Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah. And we learned the four benefits of imma, the four usages of imma, where we learned that it can be used to make it gives us two choices when there are two options there, and both options are allowed if it is following a command. Sometimes it is going to give you two options in which only one option is possible, and the Arabic term for that is taqir. Sometimes you are going to see it for shak, like, when there is doubt about something, it's going to be, I don't know, I have no idea, so who I will meet, either Saeed is going to meet me or Masood is going to meet me, in this example that we went over in our last session. Sometimes you are going to see imma used as a particle that is there for ambiguity, or to make things more obscure. Okay, to make things more confusing and more ambiguous. Okay, so this was all about imma. And then, with everything, whatever follows imma is going to have some status. Imma by itself, will it have any status? Who remembers? Will there be any status for imma itself? Any imma that you have learned, it's not going to have any status, because the statuses are reserved for an ism, right? We do call our mudare with the status as well, but mainly your statuses are reserved for an ism, and the status means rafa nasab jar, those statuses, right? Imma being a harf, as you are telling me, and I really appreciate my dear sisters Aisha and sister Sultana. They are saying that, they are lama. This is harf, and we are just going to label it as lam halalahu min al i'rab. And Dilruba agrees with them, and I agree with you all that, this is a harf and it has no i'rab. But whatever follows imma is going to have some i'rab. Yes or no? Like we went over this verse from Surah Taha, verse number 65, and we said that there was a masdarul muawwal that was following imma. And if you see masdarul muawwal following imma, you can label it as mubtada with khabar mahzoof, true or false. Can I call it this al masdarul muawwal an tulqiya that is following imma is going to be في محل رفع مبتدا with khabar mahzoof, right? Sometimes you are going to see imma in your sentences, and we can cover this real quick today before we embark on our Surah Taha and learn there is a ocean of gems that are there that I've tried to collect for you, some of them. Before I share all those gems, I want you to just quickly go over the details of imma. So here, when you see in Surah Tawbah, verse number 106, wa akharuna, there is a sentence that is starting with akharuna. What is going to be the label for akharuna? Akharuna can be labeled as mubtada, barakallahu fiq, marjuna. Akharuna, marjuna. Can there be any connection between these two isms? Can be mawsuf wa sifa, barakallahu fiq. Marjuna li amrillahi. مرجونا لأمر الله لأمري جار والمجرور متعلق بال something, right? You can call it متعلق بال something, and أمر الله, Allah is مجرور بالإضافة, and لأمر الله can be متعلق بالمرجونة itself. It can be just connected to sorry, it's not marjuna, it's murjauna. So it can be all connected to murjauna. Yes or no? Can I connect? Can I just connect li amrillahi to murjauna? Okay. If I connect it to that, do you see something special about this murjauna? What is this? There's something happening here. There's an ism. Do you think it is yeah, it is communism, and you can just say that, yeah, it is a sum of ul, yes, murjauna, yeah, you can, yeah, and then what is special about it? Is it acting, you can call it communism followed by jar wal majroor. You can, there is one way you can connect it like that, right? So jar wal majroor mawsuf wa sifa. Then there is another way. There is another way. You can also murjauna. When you look into the detail, there is an ism that is acting kind of like a fail, and then this is yes. So that you can call it, mutalik bil ismu maf'ul kind of a thing as well. Okay, but that is, you should remember. You should keep that in mind. Sometimes there will be things that can be put together like that, just like we, li amrillahi is not, it's specifically connected to this murjona, that is, um acting like a fail. Okay, yeah, makes sense or no? And in Arab books, you will just, or in your notes, you can just simply say muta'alliq bil murjauna. Okay, if you are just going to simply label it as li amrillahi muta'alliq bil murjauna, and that will help me understand, if you're sending me that as your homework, that you have understood the concept. So now you have a mubtada. With every mubtada, so far you found a mubtada. So far, everyone now must be on the same page and realize this, that we have found our mubtada, and every mubtada must have a khabar. Yes or no? Right? For every mubtada, we look for a khabar. Right? So what is going to be the khabar here? Can we call it mahzoof? Okay. Okay, so Sister Diluba thinks it is mahzoof. Sister Shamim says it is a fail. Jumla ftul. From what I can understand, you mean to say this. This is the jumlatul failure that is coming after imma can be considered as a khabar for mubtada. Is that what you're trying to explain or trying to say? Yes or no? Yeah. Okay, I got it. Okay, barakallahu fi. What about the rest of the sisters? Where are my rest of the sisters? Sister Zabiha, Afshan. Here Azra is there. There is iPhone. There is Sister Radiha. There is Rakia. There is Sister Ruba Chaudhry, Sister Salma. So okay, so can we call this, when we have found our mubtada, we are looking, the next thing we look for is a khabar, and this jumlatul failya, you azibuhum is the khabar for the mubtada, right? It can be called, what is following imma is fi mahalli raf'in khabru khabar. Just, you can just say khabar, and that makes total sense. And then waw is going to be zaida imma as harf atf, and yatubu is matuf ala yu'azibu, right? Is matuf just label as the next jumla is going to be yatubu ilayhim you can just label it as matuf. Is this clear? If it is clear, type 1, my dear sisters. So I can take you to another examples. Okay. Barakallahu feek, my dear sisters. Okay. If there, at any point something is not making sense, let me know at that point. Okay. So then the next example is when whatever comes after imma can also be, no, mubtada is there. Mubtada is there. Akharuna murjauna. Nahi? Akharuna. The first, there is a mubtada and then this is a khabar. This is a khabar. No, it is not multiple khabars. You are going to just remember, Sultana, you are just going to connect them through atf. Remember that, okay? Just connect your akhbar through atf, right? Don't call them khabar 1, khabar 2. You cannot. You all agree that whenever we have been learning these kind of conditions, or these whenever there is waw between, you just call matuf. And though there are two different options, but here what are you seeing? What are you seeing here? What is Allah doing here? What is Allah writing in Surah Tawbah? That there are two options, right? They are waiting for the hukum of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and whether He punishes them or He shows mercy to them, right? That, this is also a possibility in terms of a khabar, and this is also a possibility in terms of a khabar, and there is, but nobody knows what is going to happen. It has been obscured from you, it has been made ambiguous, and imma is used for that purpose. And this is how you are going to take this word imma, but the sentence that is coming after imma is going to be labeled as khabar for mubtada, and is going to be labeled as fi mahalli raf'in, because it is a sentence. It is jumlatul fi'liya. Is this clear? I'm seeing very, the class is quiet, but, try to, if there is any confusion, make sure always, what I want you to approach this topic it as is, just like you have done anything in Quran, just like how you have been learning the different ways to put i'rab on things. Just think of it like that. When you have a mubtada, you have to look for a khabar. You have a mubtada, and your khabar can be jumlatul failure, and that can be coming after imma. Just think of it like that. Okay. Now the next example, you may see, and here I don't have my harakas. Sa'id is rafin status, Mas'ud is rafin status. Sayazurani, sayazuruni, imma Sa'idu wa imma Mas'udu. So now either Sa'id will meet me or Mas'ud. I don't know which one, but one of them is going to meet me. So what should be the i'rab of Sa'id when I'm calling Sa'id? File. And file for what? File for yazuru. Yazuru. Zara yazuru. The file for yazuru. Seen is harf istiqbal. Yazuru is my fi'l mudare. Wal file either Sa'id or Mas'ud. Why? There are two options, because I have imma a tafsiliya coming between those two options. Between my two files, between my two possible files, I have imma, and I am in doubt whichever is going to meet me. I don't know, but one of them is going to meet me. Okay. The next example, it is that you can have whatever is present after imma as mafulun bihi. Ta'allam imma al-arabiyya wa imma al-injaliziyya. So you teach either Arabic or English. So what is Arabic and English answering for you all? Hmm? It is nasb stat is a detail, right? It is a detail. So it is mafulun bihi, because you don't expect anything after amr, which is ta'allam, because here who is the doer in ta'allam? Who's the doer? In fail ta'allam, the doer is anta. Barakallahu feek, my dear sisters. So proud of you. Ta'allam. Ta'allam. Mim sakin. Mim sakin. So failul amr, doer is anta, right? Anta. So anta ta'allam. So after anta ta'allam, can you expect any file? There's only an option of mafulun bihi, and this is jumlatul failure. So what is following imma? What is following imma is going to be labeled as mafulun bihi. The next example is when you see imma, there can be a possibility of badal. Okay, how is it possible? Hatta iza ra'u, until when they see ma yu'aduna, what they have been promised. What they have been promised, either azab or as-sa'ah, either punishment or judgment hour or an hour. So can you say ma yu aduna? What has Allah promised? What has Allah promised is going to be, ma is going to be mafulun bihi, but can this ma yu aduna, can this be replaced by al azab? Yes or no? If you just have al azaba, ma yu aduna al azaba, yes or no? Yes, it can be replacement for that. And when you have that, you have a mubdil minhu as ma, and badal can be al azab, or it can be an hour. Yes or no? You can just, when you say, you just have to write badal for al azab. As-sa'ata is going to be labeled as ma'tuf, and it is going to be making complete sense how everything is going to be connected through atf. And this as-sa'a is going to be connected through atf. Yes or no? Am I going too fast? If I am, type 5. If I'm too fast today, because I do have to cover a lot. So, and but it's not, I have to, okay, alhamdulillah, we are getting everything. So at the point where you're not understanding anything, for tasneem I'm fast, so I'm going to, tasneem, just remember, when you have imma will not have any i'rab. Okay, imma is not going to have any i'rab, but whatever comes after imma has to have some i'rab. It can be starting from the beginning. It can be mubtada, okay, with khabar mahzoof. If you see an masdariya after it, call that masdarul muawwal mubtada with khabar mahzoof. Yes or no? Is this clear so far? If you see al masdarul muawwal after imma, call it mubtada with khabar mahzoof. If you see mubtada before imma, if you see mubtada before imma and you see something after imma that can be possibly a khabar, label it as khabar. It can be khabar for that mubtada. Okay, if it is giving you information about those very particular people, label it as khabar for that. Okay, if you see after imma a file, that can be possibly a file for a fail that was present before imma. For example, here yazuru is a fail. Yuzuru ni is mafulun bihi. Noon is noonul waqaya. Ya al mutakallim is mafulun bihi. Now comes imma saidu wa imma mas'udu. So now saidu is going to be the file for yazuru. Okay. When you see the next example, ta'allam, you teach. What should you teach? Either teach Arabic or English. You can teach both of them. There are both options available for you. Okay, you can do any, you can pick any, you can do both as well. Okay, so here in this case, al arbiya is going to be mafulun bihi for ta'allam. Everything, just like every ism has an i'rab, every sentence almost has an i'rab, unless it is jumla to tafsiri and all those 10 kind of sentences. Yes, it's, oh yeah, jazakallah khair for letting me know. Yeah, it's Arabiya. It is not, yeah. So I have to, let me see. I have to change the spelling. Yeah, sorry. And jazakallah khair for letting me know. Okay, is this good now? Alhamdulillah. Okay. So, but jazakallah khair, so Sister Zora, I really appreciate it, because when you I post my notes, so many people use them. So barakallah feek, I appreciate you. So does it make sense, Tasneem, that you see ta'allam is a failul amr. You already have you are in a jumlatul failure. You already have your file, which was anta, the mir mustatir anta, and now you have to look for mafulun bihi and this al arabiya, and the next one is going to be mafulun bihi. Then when you already have a fail file. Ra'au has a file. Wawil jama'a. Mafulun bihi ma yu'aduna. And then you see al-azab. What they have been promised, it can be al-azab. And it can be complete replacement for this Mayu Aduna, so you can label it as Badal. Then sometimes you may see what follows Imma as a Hal. Inna hadainahu sabil. Indeed, we have guided him to a path. So when Imma shakiran wa Imma kafuran. So when you see we have guided him to the path, whether as someone who is grateful or someone who is ungrateful. So this Shakiran, can I call it the hal for this Hadamir here? Can it be hal for Haul Ghaib? What do you think? Right? I can label Shakiran as a hal because my Sahibul hal is proper and it is proper. It is singular. And yes, it is singular. Shakiran is also singular. It is my shakiran as a hal, which is mufrid, is nasbin status and it meets all my conditions. So this shakiran can be a hal for this damir who, right? Everyone got this? Then very recently, we have learned that after imma, there is mafule mutlaq that can come with a with fail mahzuf, right? Imma mannan badu wa imma fida'an. Remember, we just learned the cases when you will see your maful mutlaq will be there for a fail that has been omitted. So mannan has tamannu, it was tamnuna, tamannuna, and tafduna. There was a fail that has been omitted from these cases, and you are labeling what is following after coming after imma as mafule mutlaq for fail mahzuf. So the purpose of these slides was to give you an idea that everything is going to be labeled after imma, though imma has no i'rab, but what follows imma is going to have i'rab. I hope I made this point clear to all of you through these examples. If it is clear, type 1, and I think you are already typing ones. And for those of you who are still confused, this is a very heavy topic. These topics are not very, taught like commonly. You don't see them being taught. I'm not saying that, this is something that I'm just teaching you. No, not at all. But, this is something that you just think of it as that, you may need to go back to recording and listen to it again. Yes, manna. Yeah, Manu. Yes, yes, it is coming. Yes, that is from Manna Yamanu. Yes, that yeah, yes, it is your mudaf, and yeah. So please make sure when you are listening to these lectures, when you are in you have shown your commitment to Quran by your presence in this class. So I want you to guess the best out of them. I am seeing there are students who are giving answers so because they are paying attention and their answers are just how I want them to answer. There was a question asked in one of the groups that what is laqad, and immediately a sister answered that there is a wallahi mahzuf here, there is a oath mahzuf, and this lam is lam li jawabul qasam mahzuf and qad is harf tahqiq. So how you are going to solidify is just re-listen, go back and never hesitate. If there is all a question, send it to us, inshallah. We'll try our best to make it clear, okay, inshallah. So this we have already gone over. If there is all anyway any time a confusion, remember imma ash-shartiya is going to be mostly seen with a mudare immediately after it, and the mudare is going to have nunu tawkid, okay, attached. So that was my whole story of imma, and I hope you enjoyed the story of Imma. And I know it is little um, scary, but may Allah open doors of wisdom and knowledge for you and make it super duper easy, inshallah. I agree, my dear sisters. There are topics that you have been taught in these classes where they're not people don't touch those topics because it's not going to make a whole lot difference. But at the same time, for those of you who are really interested, they can benefit. So that's why I bring them to you, because there are 1,000 people doing these grammar classes, right? But ism fail harf, and it's and everyone, and easy to just go to get to the to the simple parts of that. But when it gets very deep, then it can be scary, and it can be little tricky. But inshallah, we'll try to see how things work, and we'll try to make it easy, inshallah. And it's only Allah who opens the door, so it's inshallah, and he is there for us, inshallah, in this journey, and always, always, even if you are part of this journey or you're not part of this journey, Allah is always there. He has your back, inshallah. So Iza was the something that we were finishing our class with in our last session. Iza, you have learned, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, my dear sisters, and I'm so very proud of you. After the class, I saw that many people went on to see Iza, the short series that I did, and I'm even 10 people benefit, and I don't know how many will benefit from you all, inshallah. So Iza is of two types. You already told me that in our last session, that it can be ismiya, sharti, it can be ismiya and harfiya. When it comes to ismiya, it can be ismiya zarfiya shartiya, and it can be ismiya zarfiya ghair shartiya. Then when it came to harfiya, we learned as iza fujaya, but then I learned another one, and I presented it to you again, that look at this one too. It can be iza tafsiriya too. Here it was very plain, simple, iza fujaya. And what helped you determine that was that there was a ism, jumlatul ismiya, following it. So when there is a jumlatul ismiya, there are main two parts to jumlatul ismiya. There is a mubtada, which has a khabar. Hibaluhum is going to be labeled as what? What is hibaluhum after iza, which is iza fujaya? And I already know that my sisters know iza fujaya is a harf, and it is la muhalla laha min al i'rab. It has no i'rab, right? Hibaluhum is mubtada. How will you connect wa asiyuhum with hibaluhum? Atf. Just call it atf. Will we ever say that this is hibaluhum is going to be mubtada 1 and asiyuhum is going to be mubtada 2? Can we ever say that? Azra is saying no, and I 100% agree with Azra. I'm not going to ever call it now Mubtada 2, because I'm just going to make a connection through Atf, and that is it. That is it. Okay? After you have found there is Barakallah Fiq Shamim, there is a Mubtada with an atf there, and you have found the matuf and everything. Now the next step is, my sisters are going to look for khabar. Do you find a khabar? Jumlatul failure is a khabar. If jumlatul failure is a khabar, you call it fi mahalli raf'in. Khabru mubtada, right? Fi mahalli raf'in, because now you are seeing a jumla coming as a khabar. Yuhayyalu. Yuhayyalu is going to be what kind of a fail? There is a ya before ha, which was the first root letter, and that ya had has a is a alamatul mudare, and it is mudare, and this mudare is majhul. My sisters are so smart; they they don't just need a second to answer it with the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is mudare, that is majhul, that is marfu in status. It is marfu in status with dammatu zahira, because the last letter has a dhamma on it. Ilayhi jar wal majroor, just call it mutaliq bil min sahrihim. Min sahrihim. How are you going to label min sahrihim? You can again jar wal majroor, and then sahrihim is an idafa, right? Sahrihim is an idafa. Him is going to be majroor bil idafa, right? So all can be mutaliq bil this yuhayyalu. Okay, so this min, can I call it because of their magic? They, can I call it translate it as because of their magic? Yeah. If you can translate something as because, it can be labeled as sababiya, and I'm going to inshallah one day teach you 15 types of min. But for now, just put it there that it can be min sababiya. Okay, and inshallah when we have time, we will inshallah go over it as well. Okay, now when you have min sahrihim, and this is your jumlatul failure, and this is fi mahali rafa'in khabar. Now comes another sentence. What kind of a sentence you are seeing here? Annaha tas'a. Jumlatul ismiya, annaha, harf nasab, wa ismuha tas'a is going to be khabru anna. Yes or no, right? Tas'a jumlatul fi'liya is khabru anna, and it is going to be fi mahalli raf'in, because this is my jumlatul fi'liya coming up as a khabar. If I ask you the status of tas'a in terms of a failed world, in a failed world, what is going to be the status of tas'a that is ending with an alif? It is rough in status. I agree with you, Sultana. Do you see a rough status with Dhamma Zahira or Muqaddara? Very well, Dhammatul Muqaddara, right? Dhammatul Muqaddara, not Fatatul Muqaddara. It is Marfu with Dhammatul Muqaddara, because I'm assuming that this is rough in status, because that is my default status and there is no reason for it to be Nasb in status. If this fail, no problem, Aisha. If this fail was Jasmine status, if it was Majzoom, what will happen to the word? What will be the form? What will go away? Barakallahu feek, alif will drop, right? Sultana, this is alif, right? This is the ya got changed into an alif, and your alif is haruful illa, and that is going to get dropped, right? Barakallahu feek. Very well done. But in the mansoob and marfu form, they look the same. And here we are going to call marfu bidamatul muqaddara. Okay. So now anna, inna, anna ka anna, layta la alla lakinna. Haruf nasikha, haruf nasiba. When you have this anna or an or low or there was ma, I'm giving you the hint. When I am giving you the hint, so you have to pick it. Barakallahu feek. When you have this category, an, kai, anna, ma, low. Ma and low, not always. Ma and low, not always. But first three are going to be, because ma has other functions too. Ma can be istifhamia, ma can be mausula, ma can be shartiya, low can be shartiya, and it has other functions too. But when these first three, an, kai, anna, come, you have to think about harufe masdariya. Harufe masdariya, when they come before a fail, or in case of anna, when they are in the beginning of a sentence, they are going to make al masdarul muawwal. And when there is a masdarul muawwal, which is going to be including the whole sentence, annaha tas'a, annaha tas'a, what should it make you think about? It's going to make you think about as a ism, as a compound ism. And this masdarul muawwal is going to be, you think of it as an ism, then indeed it was moving. So what make them confused? Let's see the translation here. Here, let me see. Okay. One second. Okay. Here, when you see the translation, their ropes and staffs seemed to him from their magic that they were moving. So yuhayyalu, there is a pronoun there, that is huwa, yuhayyalu, right? Huwa yuhayyalu. And this huwa yuhayyalu has, huwa is a naibul file that can be replaced by annaha tas'a. Yeah, sister, hal for what? Sister Diba is saying that this can be hal too. That's, and hibaluhum, this was the condition of the hibaluhum wasiyuhum, that they were moving. No, but yes, we are calling it naibul file fi mahalli raf'in for yuhayyalu, right? We are going to call it naibul file for yuhayyalu, that it is replacing this masdarul muawwal, is replacing the pronoun. The movement made, made him think that, the movement of, of the ropes made him seem to him from their magic. So suddenly what happened was that, how they were moving made him confused, right? So that is why we are going to call annaha tas'a as naibul file for yuhayyalu. But I was just, Sister Diba thinks it can be a possibility for hal. So how will we connect it to the rest if we call it a hal, jumlatul haliya? Do you think it should be think whenever you have masdarul muawwal, whenever you have this masdarul muawwal, just think of it as one ism. Yeah, but maybe some may label it as that, but mostly you will see it as, the most I have always considered it as naibul file for yuhayyalu. The most right answer for this is going to be that, masdarul muawwal is a naibul file for yuhayyalu, because I'm going to just put it together, treat it like an ism, the whole sentence. I'm going to treat it like an ism, and I'm going to plug it in as naibul file for this jumlatul failure. Okay? Not to disagree with anyone, but remember, any time when we have anna, just stop there. Mm, Think of the whole sentence, Jumlatul Ismiya, as Mazdarul Mu'awwal, and then plug it in where it goes. For example, if I show you an example from the past, we have covered them. Like Tabayyana lahum, it became clear to them. What became clear to them? Annahum ashabul jahim. That indeed they are the people of fire became clear to them. Right? I just plugged this as a file for Tabayyana. Similarly, Tabayyana lahu annahu aduhu lillah. So it became clear to them that he is an enemy. He is enemy to him. So this as a whole, just I'm going to just plug this whole Masdarul Muawwal as a file for Tabayyana. Similarly, if you go, you are going to see that it can be Mafulun Bihi. Again, the whole thing, the whole Jumlatul Ismiya, I'm just connecting it to Yazunnuna, Masdarul Mu'awwal for yazunnuna. And these are afal that we still have to cover, and but for at a later time. But for now, just consider whole sentence Jumlatul Ismiya as Masdarul Mu'awwal for a fail. It can be file, it can be naibul file as we just covered now. It can be mafulun bihi as you are seeing on my screen for fail like yazunnuna or ya'lamuna, or it can be in jumlatul ismiya, it can be muta'alliq bil khabar too. Just think of it, however, as one ism. Just put pick that chunk up, make it into one ism, a compound ism, as we have learned from our ustad, and then plug it in as we should be plugging it in. Because there is be before anna, just jar wal majroor mutaalliq bil khabar. Okay, is this clear to all of you, my dear sisters? Any confusion? Everyone agrees that we can label annaha tas'a as as naibul file for yuhayyalu, right? Okay. فأوجس في نفسه خيفة موسى. Fa, you can, when they started to move like, the snakes, then what happened? Fa is going to be at litartib wa taqib. Litartib, the sequence. First this happened, and then what happened? Then when the staffs and their ropes started to move like a snake, he felt in himself something that was khifa, the fear. Okay, so aujasa is fail madin mabni al fatha from family 4, barakallahu feek, and aujasa has a damir mustatir hua, that was fired by who feared, who felt Aujasa, if he sensed, who sensed? Musa alayhi salam sensed. So if I ask you, how will you label Musa? It is file marfu bidamatul muqaddara, right? Alal alif. Can I label it like that? That Musa is file marfu bidamatul muqaddara alal alif. Yes or no? Does it sound like right Arab for Musa alayhi salam? I hope it does. And this is clear. So this is the file. Alhamdulillah, we found our fail and file. Now let's see. Fi nafsi jar wal majroor mutaalliq bil fail nafsihi idafa, right? Nafsihi, there too ha damir is going to be majroor bil idafa. Haul ghaib is majroor bil idafa, and this whole chunk is mutaalliq bil fail. Khifatan, what did he sense? What did he sense? It, do you think he sensed in himself? Musa sensed in himself. What did he sense? Isn't Khifa answering your what question? What do you think? Let's see. Right? He sensed within himself. What did he sense? It is answering your ma question. It is ma question, so you can call it mafulun bihi, right? So that is your verse number 67. Let's quickly go over verse number 68. Kulna, jumlatul failya, right? Jumlatul failya, fail madin, wal file, damir mustatir or damir baris? Fail madin, wal file, damir baris. Now, what is the name for this na? What is the name for this na? Naul fa'ilin. Naul fa'ilin, right? Barakallahu feek. So this is going to be, na is going to be fi mahali raf'in, and it is mabni ala sakoon, because alif is always going to be with a sakoon, is going to be considered with a sakoon. So mabni ala sakoon fi mahali raf'in. And then after kulna, after finding our fail wal file, we are looking for mafulun bihi, and maful bihi is makulul qawl fi mahali nasbin la takhaf. La takhaf. La is nahiya, because we are seeing mudari majzoom after it. And alhamdulillah, in this course, we have gone over many types of la. And alhamdulillah for that. And takhaf is mudari majzoom bit sakoon, right? Easy. And after a fail, mudari majzoom bit sakoon, we have to look for the file. And the file in this case is going to be anta. Is it damir baris or mustatir? Is the pronoun hidden or is it visible? It is mustatir. Very well done. Very proud of you all. Okay, now don't fear. Innaka antal ala. Innaka, 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 innaka. Harf nasb, jumlatul ismiya. Barakallahu feek. Harf nasb wa ismuha. There's a new sentence. Barakallahu feek. After innaka, starting a new sentence, inna always starts at, and innaka harf nasb wa ismuha. Now you have antal ala. There are two ways you can treat this. Either you can antal ala, you want to treat it together, and you can call it ismu, khabru inna. Yes, but I don't want to treat it like that. I want to treat it differently. What is the name for this anta? Who can give me the name for this anta and wants to be the grammar queen? And Rabia already became the grammar queen for this week. Barakallahu feek. Rabia, it is, what did you write? Let me see if you wrote the right. Okay, very well done. Rabia said, Sister Zohra, just, you guys are killing it. Yes. Is it going to be munfasil or there's another name? Every damir that is in every independent pronoun is munfasil. Every independent pronoun is munfasil, like huwa, huma, hum. But when you have a pronoun that comes between mubtada and khabar, ismu inna and khabru inna, there is a special name. The name is spelled little differently. Is it going to be fasal or munfasil? Yes, it is munfasil. It is independent. But now when you are seeing it between ismu inna ka and khabru inna al-ala, you name it damirul fasal. Okay? Is this clear? Damirul fasal. Remember, we learned this in our in a series before this one, before we started our Surah Taha. We went over all the pronouns, and one is still missing. I still have to do it, and it's coming in this surah. I have to do it again, inshallah. I gave you a brief summary of that, but I still have to give you the details. But keep that in mind. Okay, if now you are calling it and damirul fasal, If you were treating it as a sentence, you were going to call anta as damir munfasil mubtada fi mahalli raf'in, al ala as khabar. If you treat it as damirul fasl, if it is damirul fasl, what will be the i'rab of anta then? How we have we done it? If it is for tawheed, no, think about it. It is going to be la mahalla lahu min al-i'rab. No status, la mahalla. It becomes, if you are calling it damirul fasal, then write it as la mahalla laha min al-i'rab. It is there for emphasis with la mahalla laha min al-i'rab. Okay, right? And this is something that we have gone over in our previous sessions. Especially, the Mirul Fasal, look at those slides that are going to give you a complete idea. So again, I'm going to recap just for everyone's ease. If I'm going to call this Jumlatul Ismiya as Khabru Inna, I'm going to call Anta Mubtada. And if it is Mubtada, the status is Raf. Okay. And this is going to be Damir Munfasil independent pronoun. And Al Ala is Khabar, right? If I'm going to call it as Damirul Fasal coming between Ismu Innaka and Al Ala, then I'm going to call it La Mahalla Laha Min Al I'rab. It has no i'rab. If it is clear, my dear sisters, type 1. Tasneem, Afshan, I want you to answer as well, my dear sisters. Okay? Yeah, we usually, yes, mostly you will see it labeled as the Mirul Fasal. Yeah, you can, if that makes you happy. Both cases are allowed. You can call it the Mirul Fasal, La Mahalla Laha Min Al I'rab, and then you are going to call Al Ala Khabru Inna. Don't, if you are calling it Fasal, don't call Al Ala Khabar of Anta. Call it Khabru Inna. Call it Khabru Inna. Okay? So this is your Jumla. And when your Jumla is starting with Inna, there is a special kind of a sentence I've been teaching you. Jumlatul Tafsiriya, Jumlatul Ta'liliya, Jumlatul Muakkida, Jumla La Mahalla Laha Silatul Mawsul. What kind of a sentence this is going to be because of Inna? Ta'liliya, right? If you do not fear. Why you do not fear? Because you are the one who is going to be you're superior. There's a reason. You are gifted. You are gifted. So don't fear because you are superior. Okay? So because this is Jumlatul Ta'liliya, if you treat it as Jumlatul Ta'liliya, it is going to be La. Will it have any i'rab? What kind of i'rab? La mahalla laha min al-i'rab. So la mahalla laha min al-i'rab. Right? We have covered these kind of sentences in Surah Al-Rahman, and we have been going over these concepts again and again and again. Oh no, I'm not. I wish I was. I have to, no, but Jazakallah khair, my dear sister, if you think that way, may Allah make me gifted, inshallah. But because anything is possible for Allah. Yeah. Okay, now let's go and learn more about this story. Wa alki, because you are superior and you throw. Alki. Let's start with alki. If there is something that is, okay, okay, I agree. I have to. Alki, Jumlatul Failya, Filul Amr. What helped you that this can be Filul Amr? Very well done, Shamim. Shamim, you got it. And Rabiha, very well done. Because Ya got dropped. You are not seeing any Lamatul Mudari. With Ya dropped, you have to think about Filul Amr. And this is Filul Amr. And who is the file? Every fail has a file, my dear sisters. So give me the file for this. And if they don't have a file, then they are special type of af'al that are ismu fail, but we are not going to learn them today, some other day. So this is the file in this alki is anta. When once you have determined the fail and the file, then comes ma fi yaminik. You throw what is in your right hand. And the word is from family number 4. Very well done because of Hamzatul Qata. Very well done. Ma is going to be maf'ulun bihi, and it is the name for this ma. You have learned, I think you have learned 10, at least 10 types of mas. So this is Mawsula. After every ism Mawsul, you look for Silatul Mawsul, it's baby, and it's right there fi yaminik. And Sila can sometimes be just jar wal majroor and or zarf. Here we are seeing jar wal majroor. Yaminik is has a kaf which is majroor bil idafa. So there are two fragments that we are seeing in our Sila, and this Sila is going to be labeled as متعلق بمحذوف صلة لا محل لها من الإعراب, right? And this ma is going to be مفعول به, but the sila is going to be لا محل لها من الإعراب. The status of ma is going to be في محل نصب, right? Clear? ما في محل نصب مفعول به صلة الموصول لا محل لها من الإعراب, and صلة الموصول here is a jar wal majroor. Okay, now comes تلقف جواب الأمر. Everyone agrees? جواب الأمر, it is مجزوم because it is لأنه جواب الأمر. مضارع مجزوم بالسكون على الحرف الآخر لأنه جواب الأمر. I agree with you guys. Okay, تلقف, it will eat ما صنعوا. ما مفعول به موصولة ما الموصولة. With every موصول you find silatul mawsul, it's baby, and silatul mawsul here is jumlatul failure, and it is fail madin la and la mahalla laha min al i'rab. The file in this silatul mawsul is wawil jamaa. Very well done. Everything clear? Everything you connected from here to here, right? Everything got connected, right? Now comes innama sana'u kaidu sahir. Innama. What is innama? Okay, harf nasb. Okay, innama. Okay, this is inna is harf nasb. Ma is kafa. So I wanted that kafa to come. That was why I was stressing on that. It is kafa. Is it going to be kafa wa makfufa? Is it kafa wa makfufa? Yes, yes. Is it? No, no, no. It's not. Okay, so we have done a series, and my dear sisters, who are so very smart. All of you guys are included in that group. Whosoever is in the class, I know Umme Sakina. I want to hear more from her, and but I know you guys are super duper smart. So my brilliant brains here. So remember, if you see innama or annama, don't always think about kafa wa makfufa, right? We are not going to consider it always kafa wa makfufa, because sometimes what happens, it is in most cases kafa wa makfufa, and ma in that case is zaida and harf, but it can be mausula, right? Innama tu aduna la sadiq. Here ma was mausula, right? Indeed, what you all are promised surely is true, right? And then when I did this series, I think I did give you this example. Innama sana'u. Indeed, what they have crafted. Indeed, what they have crafted is a plot or a scheme of magician. So now come and look at this ma. Can this be ma kafa or it is mausula? There are two possibilities always. Remember, two possibilities. Think about it. Ma can be al kafa. Most of the cases it will be kafa, but it can be mausula. It can be mausula, and here if you look at this ma, it is mausula al ismiya. If you are now looking at this, is it going to be a harf or an ism? Is it going to be a harf or an ism? Tell me. It's going to be an ism. It is going to be nasb status, right? Because of inna. Harf nasb wa ismuha. Harf nasb inna wa ismuha. When ma is mausula, you look for the baby. Silatul mausul. Silatul mausul here is sana'u, which is jumlatul failya, fail madin, wal file. Damir muttasil, wawil jama'a. After you have found out ismu inna, which was ma al mausula, look for khabru inna. After looking for ismu inna, look for khabru inna, and Sultana has already written that this is kaidu is the khabru inna, and sahirin is majroor bil idafa, right? There is mudaf and mudaf ilayhi here, right? Your khabar has mudaf and mudaf ilayhi. Clear to everyone? So not every innama is going to be kafa wa makfufa. Think about maul mausula as well. And here you are seeing a clear maul mausula. And what was a hint here? That this, what can be a hint here, and then we'll call it a day. Can you expect kaidu after sana'u? Can you expect kaidu here after sana'u? There is a ism marfu there that should make you think that this, there is something else happening here. There can never be a file for sana'u. So this sana'u has to be connected to ma somehow, right? And this can be the silatul mawsul for ma al mawsula, and then this is one whole chunk. After this is one chunk which is ismu inna, and then kaidu is the qabru inna. Okay, so with that I will end the session. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik, nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, my dear sisters. Ameen wa